President Biden playing defense as the potential for disaster looms in Afghanistan. The Taliban already gaining momentum as U.S. troop withdrawal is more than 90% complete. President Biden addressing his plan earlier and getting nasty when pressed by reporters.
Is a Taliban takeover of Afghanistan now inevitable?
No, it is not. Because you have the Afghan troops have 300,000 well-equipped as any army in the world.
Do you trust the Taliban, sir?
Is that a serious question?
It's
a silly question. Do I trust the Taliban? No. But I trust the capacity of the Afghan military, who is better trained, better equipped, and more competent in terms of conducting war.
Will the United States be responsible for the loss of Afghan civilian lives that could happen after the military exit?
No.
Mm-hmm. Dana, the press score, they were on the ball.
That was the toughest questions that he's had. And if you remember Robert Gates, who served Bush, Obama, and when he wrote his book, he said, and this was his words, not mine, that Joe Biden has been wrong on every foreign policy issue since the 70s. And I'm not going to debate whether we should leave Afghanistan. So the decision's been made, but you can leave in a way that has dignity and is not so sloppy. The other thing that's really bothering me is the issue of the Afghan interpreters who sacrificed, worked for us, and you have people like Congressman Michael Waltz and Dan Crenshaw, who both served and who will say that their interpreters saved their lives. Well, they were supposed to be able to come here and because the Taliban want to kill them. And so there's a whole bunch of them stuck over there. But this case that's really bothering me this week is there's a man named Niami Zalmay. He lives in Iowa. He's been there since 2014 when he found out, he came here for a conference, found out that the Taliban was going to try to kill him, applied for political asylum. He's been living in Iowa. He has a business. He has employees. He has an exemplary record. He goes in for his interview to finally get his approval to stay. And they said, Department of Homeland Security, have you ever had any interaction with the Taliban? And he says, well, I can't tell a lie. When I was 9 years old, the Taliban came to me and said I had to go get them a piece of bread from my mom. So I went to my mom, I got the bread, and I gave it to the Taliban, and my mom yelled at called them smugglers, and they moved on. Okay, he was 9 years old. The Department of Homeland Security has sent him a letter that says, because of your interaction with the Taliban, you're not allowed to stay. And they're going to deport him on this ridiculous technicality. And the White House is like, well, that's what the law says. And I just think that is extremely hard to believe. I hope somebody is actually telling the president what's really going on here, because somebody needs to get to Secretary Mayorkas and say, that should not stand. That is shameful.
And it's shameful that they don't have a path to protect the interpreters, Geraldo. I mean, this seems very haphazard. They moved the date up to August 31st now because somebody told the Biden administration, hey, 9/11 just looks bad. It looks like a marketing ploy.
A couple of quick points. I think that this was Joe Biden at his finest. You may disagree with him, but he was strong, he was committed, he's doing something that is controversial, but in the best interest, in his view, of the United States. We went to Afghanistan to avenge 9/11. We killed bin Laden. I was graced to be on the air and to break that news to the nation that bin Laden had been killed by our Great SEAL warriors. We should have left then in 2011. We stayed 10 years too long. Afghanistan is a failed state. It's a narco state. It provides all the heroin that's consumed in Europe. We had, and once I was with the Marines in Helmand Province, they're actually camping in poppy fields there. It's a disgusting, savage place. It's going to splinter. There's no holding it together. In terms of I have Akbash Anwari, our dear interpreter, my guy, the guy saved my life. Same thing, we worked for Sky News at some point. They talked to the Taliban. He can get them on the telephone. So now he's got to straighten all that out before he can get here. People we know on a first-name basis that risked everything. Having said that, I also want to say, my God, our GIs, our warriors that gave so much, some their lives. I get pictures during the time when I was the war correspondent. I get pictures from their families. You interviewed Airman so-and-so. He died here and there. It was, it's a horrible experience. We should have learned from the Alexander the Great and the British Empire and the Soviet Union that you can't remake a country in our own image. You will never make Afghanistan France, forget about it. Let's
Jesse.
cut our losses. Longest war in history.
Well, now the story becomes China. China ramping up Afghanistan involvement amid U.S. withdrawal. Afghanistan is no longer in our national or strategic interest, said President Biden today. Oh, really? Radical Islamic terrorism isn't? Because you've got the Taliban and Al-Qaeda and ISIS.
I think we
Jesse.
got a handle on it. And Geraldo's right. Joe Biden was more coherent than I've ever seen him today. And that's just because I could understand what Joe was saying. So that's a low bar, and that's as complimentary as I will be of the president. Genghis Khan, also, Geraldo.
Right.
I mean, he got bounced out of there, too. So it's a really bad track record. The terrain is disgusting. Caves, mountains, desert. They export opium, rugs, poverty-stricken. I don't know how you can fight there. You could spend the next century just gunning down Taliban in Afghanistan. Place would still be the same. There is really no difference if you look at Vietnam and Afghanistan. Not winnable wars in the traditional sense. Nixon recognized it. You have the Viet Cong hiding underground in tunnels, in jungles, assimilating within the population. They jump out at any time and shoot a GI. They had to get out, and you're never going to win in the traditional sense. So the Taliban, only force right now in play there. They reconstituted. That was inevitable. Really, the issue is how hard are we going to have to dig in to defend the embassy in Kabul? That's the big issue. But thanks to George W. Bush and the succeeding presidents, we have set up such a great counterterror system with satellites and financial tracking systems, interrogation drones, all sorts of technology that we can really disrupt plots, see them as they're coming together. So hopefully we can protect the homeland from here.
Geraldo liked President Biden's performance today, but, I mean, that was bumbling and incoherent a lot of times.
So did
Craig.
Jesse.
Well, I'm just saying better than he has been
Right.
before. I'm not saying it's good. It's just better.
I don't know. I mean, I give him a pass because 20 years is a long time. And we have to accept that the world has changed, especially with warfare and technology. We've got to get over this idea that it's a failure to leave. It's not a failure to leave. It's an acknowledgement that the world has changed. And maybe this kind of warfare that we were dealing with is almost irrelevant and antiquated, especially when you talk about the drones and you talk about the threats that we're seeing with ransomware, which we can't even get a handle on. And we need to concentrate on things on like ransomware and bioterror, drones and things like that. The way to look at it is Afghanistan isn't going anywhere. But thanks to technology, we can go anywhere. And that means that, we don't have to be there. We may not have to occupy any place anymore to keep us safe. And I think we kind of knew that. And I think it's time. And people should not think of this as any kind of defeat. It's just that the world has changed. Terrorism is different. Drones, it's all changed. Why are we there? We don't have to be. So anyway.
I'm just curious to see how China leverages it against us.
I
They
would
want
love
to
give
dominate the world.
Take it. China, take Afghanistan. It's yours.
Yeah, look what they did to Russia. I mean, USSR.
Exactly.
Every time you jump in there, it's...
Exactly.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.